Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Oh, yes.
One more time into the breach.
One more time, I believe CeeLo Green said, one more time into the win.
Once again, welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary royalty.
And all types of polka dots.
Yep. As well as the Smizmars. Can't forget y'all. Never forget the Smizmars and the Glip Glops.
Oh, you got to.
You gotta be careful about saying Glip Glops because they might come out like, didn't they show up to Rick's party in like that cool ass ship or whatever, and they said, "What's up, my Glip Glops?"
I mean, well, yeah, Rick, right before they showed up, he said, you gotta be careful about what sort of, not even jargon, but what type of, I guess, nicknames you call individuals. And, the Goonies showed up. And, it was it was good, my Glip Glops.
That said, we're back for another splendid episode of the Triple P's, the Perfect Plex podcast. Probably should say the name of the show more, I realize. It's just cool to say the Triple P, but like, it's not technically the name of the show. It just sounds cooler. Also, it makes for a better hashtag. Hashtag Triple P on the gram for you guys who are into that.
And, you just need something that rolls off the tongue.
I like Triple P. It sounds cool. And it's similar to like, Triple G or Triple C or any of those triple guys. It's funny that all those guys are like fighters. I guess they want to just amp themselves up in some way,
I mean, I'm saying it's all about that marketing. Good marketing goes a real long ass way, man.
So I guess we're gonna come at you with a grab bag. This is kind of we're approaching anyway, the slow days of summer. No preseason football yet.
Real dog days.
We're not really a baseball show. So I'm not really invested in any wild card shenanigans or anything that may be happening right now.
All right. As we do this cast, the Yankees are a little bit up and down.
Here we go. You're gonna do some hard-hitting journalism right here. The baseball correspondent, the Lightskin Bandit, standing in the middle of Wrigley Field. Wait, that doesn't even exist anymore, does it?
You can find me on the corner of 148 and Brook.
There you go.
Even though it's not that far from the stadium, but still in all. I don't know how hard hitting this will be, but just watching the Yankees this season, I would like to call them the best team in the league, but I won't. Look, at one point, it seemed like we might be able to think about having another Subway Series. That isn't totally out of the question, but let's just say a lot of good things will need to happen. And shit, I mean, the way things work, if all that good shit happens, the Mets will fuck around and probably beat the Yankees. I won't be like pissed off at that, but well, if I bet, I may actually throw some dollars on that. But y'all talk to me during that time. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. But for the most part, what I see is best teams in the league right now. Yankees, Astros. Once again, fuck them. Not the people from Houston, just the Astros. But at the same time, I get it. Well, you know what? I won't even say fuck y'all, because with all the Deshaun Watson shit, y'all need whatever y'all can get. The Rockets damn sure ain't going nowhere no time soon, so I get it. Who else? Dodgers. Of course, Braves, they looking all right, from what I understand. Problem with the Mets is really just injury. They definitely have one of the better, when healthy, one of the better bullpens and pitching staffs, if I'm not mistaken. Outside of them, I see a real mixed bag. I really, outside of maybe, of course, St. Louis here and there. I guess fucking, maybe the Nationals? Maybe? Diamondbacks, but, Diamondbacks are always quiet, but, Again, you know what? Holla at me around September. I won't. I'll definitely have a little bit more, I'll definitely have some more juicier takes.
Oh, so.
Maybe, I guess my first baseball prophecies.
Yeah, that'll be the new segment.
I don't know about segment, but we'll
stove.
see how these that first prophecy.
Hot stove with the Lightskin Bandit.
We'll see.
Lightskin stove.
Right now, Yankees all day, baby.
So as these are the dog days of summer, except for fighting, because we got some interesting UFC events coming up. In Blades versus Aspinall. I forget who was supposed to fight Tom Aspinall, but Blades is a great replacement. So that's gonna be a fun little fight night.
Honestly, I feel like Aspinall was supposed to fight like 2 people. And we finally got the Blades. I feel like he was supposed to have like one fight, then whoever that was, they got injured, and then here we are.
Some fantastic research that we've done. The fight is good. They got Jack Hermanson, who also, I believe his opponent was also injured. That was supposed to be... No, Sean Strickland got knocked out. I forget who was supposed to be his opponent, but he has someone stepping up, so that's cool. We get to see him fight. Paddy Pimblett, UFC's favorite fighter right now. Trying to make him the new English hotness, since Darren Till keeps getting hurt. So, actually, I think that's who he was supposed to fight. Jack was supposed to fight Darren Till, perhaps. I could be wrong about that.
That sounds right.
Alex Gustafsson trying to make another go at it, which is great. He fights Nikita Krylov, so...
I really don't know why.
Someone's going to go to sleep, more than likely.
It's going to be Brother Gus.
Yeah.
Brother Gus, excuse me.
And the main card anyway, is rounded out by Molly McCann versus Hannah Goldie, and Paul Craig versus Volkan Oezdemir. So someone gonna go to sleep there too. A lot of heavy fights on this one. At least in the main card.
I mean, they have to get to that. I mean, well, it's kind of that season anyway. But
I get it, because all the lightweight cards all the weight fights, are on the prelims. So that makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, and the only other big fight you got is or the big kind of like smaller weight class fight is that rematch with Amanda and Pena.
Excellent segue, because that's in a couple weeks. That is UFC 1077. Imagine what the UFC will be like then. UFC 1077. It'll be cyborgs by then, literal cyborgs.
I would say it's probably somewhere in between that old movie, that throwback. What was it? Somewhere in the 80s, late 80s. That movie Arena, and maybe some ill video game.
Yeah, or like Smash TV for y'all guys who played Smash TV on back in the day for, what was that, Super Nintendo and Sega?
Yeah.
So yeah, Juliana Pena versus Amanda Nunes one more time. It's gonna be a banger. Amanda's gonna come out like a house on fire.
Oh, she should.
try to prove that Juliana's winning was a fluke, as she had alluded to post fight of their first fight. Wow, English is kind of hard for me tonight. Following their first fight, Amanda had...
She made excuses right after she lost.
Yeah, she said that she was hurt or something.
And, she was just going through shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
she was dealing with a lot, so maybe, something's going on with her family. She's a mother now, so that can't be easy because she's a first-time mom and shit.
A lot of woos and boos.
Yeah. So we'll see. I imagine she'll, again, be super focused for this one, as will Juliana. So I'm looking forward to that fight. The co-main is interim title fight between Brandon Moreno, or as Davison Figueroa likes to call him, the crybaby. You're going to cry, baby? He's always talking about you going to cry, baby.
I mean, but he beat him twice. So,
He did. So he's going to defend that interim title against Kai Kara France.
That's going to be a good one.
This might be fight of the night right here. They are going to get busy, these two guys. Kai has been on a hell of a run, so it's great they got a title shot. And Brandon is going to prove that he is not a paper champion, which he's not. I mean, he beat the other best guy in the division, so twice.
Honestly, no. They fought 3 straight times. He lost because he got cocky, honestly. Like that third fight, he was trying to
Also, that third fight was fishy. Like, Davison didn't smoke his boots, really. Like, I wouldn't have even accepted the draw. Honestly, like, I'm not sure if he won. Maybe I got to go back and watch it. It's been a while, but I don't think I think Davison handily beat.
No. One dude was trying to dance and be pretty, and he got hit and got knocked the fuck down, and he lost.
Yeah, well, he took it more seriously after that. He almost scooped that fight back up, but
yeah.
Either way, that fight is going to be popping. I like that this turned into a fight preview. But July, to me at this point, as I've mentioned on other episodes, is the month for fighting. So is August, because SummerSlam ain't shit anymore.
Summer Scam.
And All Out is the first week of September, usually, so it's not even in August, technically.
Yeah, it's definitely the Labor Day weekend, which might be pretty spicy. We'll see how that goes.
Derek Lewis, the return of the Black Beast, fighting Sergey Pavlovich. I imagine Derek Lewis will murder him, unless Sergey can find a way to control Derek.
Black Beast has already said he's not trying to go the distance.
Nah, he wants to get back to that title with as little damage on him as possible.
I mean, not in so many words. He kind of already said that he's not really that interested in the title, because he was like, I forgot who it was he was fighting. I don't think it was Volkov, but it was somebody, and he said to Dana White, yeah, I'm not with all these main events with these 5 rounders. I don't know what that means outside of I ain't trying to really go too hard for that chip.
Also, he doesn't like long fights, even though his cardio is way better than it ever has been.
Yeah.
He hates it. You could tell. He hates fighting wrestlers. He hates fighting people who can kind of control him and are not really afraid to get the Galactic Phantom from him. So
real competition.
Sergey will probably come out and try to brutalize him. So we'll see. Someone's going to sleep probably in that fight, though.
Or a potential chokeout. Once again, I'm not one of those betting analysis or those those on-air bookies, but I may throw some dollars on something in that fight.
Well, the odds here say
No.
Derek's
It's too early. It's too early. It's too early.
The numbers are pretty close, honestly, but the rest of the card is pretty good. Alexandra Pantoja versus Alex Perez.
Battle of the flyweights. They're definitely going to do a lot of tech and shit.
Right.
That also might be. There's a lot of sneaky fight of the night kind of contenders. So we'll see how that goes. Magomed Ankalaev versus Anthony Smith. I feel like Anthony Smith
might really try to murder him because he feels disrespected. I was watching an interview with him. He feels very disrespected about people's perception of him as a fighter and how good he is because he is the underdog in this fight, surprisingly. I get it because Ankalaev has been on a tear, but so has Anthony Smith, so I don't know. I feel like these numbers should be more, I guess, less lopsided with Anthony being plus 350, but I get why he's upset. But if he gets fucking smoked, then what more is there to say?
And I was about to bring that up because him being plus 350. I mean,
compared to Ankalaev being minus 435.
It's hard. It's kind of hard not to take some of that action, but at the same time, I don't know. I mean,
it's a bit of a risky bet. Like, it depends on which. If Anthony feels disrespected or whatever, like, it's hard to bet against him. But
so, is it perception or is it reality?
I don't know, because there have been fights where I thought he was gonna club, like that Dominic Reyes fight, for example.
Yes.
Or when he fought John, and I know that's a different Anthony Smith. He has kind of evolved leaps and bounds since then.
Yes.
I may have mentioned this before on the cast, but it seems like when he became a commentator, his analysis of the fight game, like, improved his fight game, like the way he sees things and perceives the fight or whatever, seems to have helped him mentally.
Yeah.
So yeah. If the scientist Anthony Smith comes in there, he should be fine, as long as he doesn't get, I guess, punched dead in his fucking mouth by Ankalaev. But he has to use his versatility to beat him,
That's what any Anthony Smith fight, bro.
And I hope he gets his flowers, man. I hope he gets the finish and proves everyone wrong that he is definitely
It's not that he isn't a capable fighter. He is.
But I guess, again, he feels like slept on because he's up and down. I get it.
It's not that he's slept on. He's one of those, and
I mean, he can be. He's ranked number 5.
I mean, it's a weak division right now, honestly.
Yeah.
But either way, it's reality because he is one of those who. Now again, he has come against like legendary, competitors, but even outside of that, like his bigger moments, he's come up short. So it's like I can understand him being mad. Look, if he wants to do some Jordan shit and use that as extra motivation, do you, brother man, son. But Anthony Smith is one of those individuals where it's like, I'll believe it when I see it.
I got you. That makes sense.
You know what I'm saying? Now, again, I may still take some of that action. We'll see.
If he clubs Ankalaev, that'll definitely be a statement.
Now look,
sure.
If I do take that action and I throw something on him and he loses, I will be mad than the motherfuckers.
As well you should be. I don't want to say the rest of the fights aren't as crazy, because some of them are good money. Drew Dober, especially, versus Rafael. I don't know if I assume he's Brazilian because his name's Alves. Drew has been on the run himself, so, he might club this dude. Justin Tafa, who gets busy. He seems like Tai Tuivasa like cousin, because they have similar tattoos and a similar fighting style, where they just try to club their opponent. Fighting Dontel Mays, who I don't remember, but Justin should, put him to sleep. The rest is kind of decent undercard fights. The only one I recognize is a Drakkar Klose, who's been fighting for a minute against a guy named Diego Ferreira, who is ranked 15, so clearly he gets busy, but I couldn't tell you what he does or how. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm going to look at the prelims real quick.
We'll see.
If there's any hidden liquid gems here. Do they not have the prelims yet? Oh, I guess they don't have the preliminary card yet. Or I guess that was just it. But yeah, that top half of the card is good money though. Especially the championship fights. And I don't know, anything that you can think of storyline-wise that emerges from this card?
I mean, nothing that's so.
I guess besides talking about Anthony Smith for like the last 5 minutes or so, you know.
Honestly, nothing that well, outside of the main event, nothing that hasn't already been you know what I'm saying, broached. You know what I'm saying? It's a good one. Again, like you said, it may be one of those sneaky, exciting cards.
Seems that way.
It would be nice. These last two have been pretty good. You know, I can't complain. They've been the real fighters. Well, outside of the T City situation, they've been like the real MMA fan kind of events. I guess I'll save those later events for later on, but definitely looking forward to Islam and Cowboy.
Oh yeah, there you go. That's a story. Islam is ranked number 4, I believe.
Yeah.
Islam Makhachev, hailed as the next Khabib, is trained by Khabib and others at American Top Team. And I'm sure, secret Russian, crazy wrestling camps or whatever, fighting bears and whatnot, is finally, I mean, he's been on a run for a couple years now, pretty much wrestle fucking everyone in sight.
Dominating.
So that's why they say he's the new Khabib. But his hands are pretty good, too. Again, similar to Khabib, like, he's putting it together.
Yeah, he is.
And I look forward to see how he's going to deal with a guy who is a submission ace, basically, who can't really seem to be overpowered. Like, it hasn't really happened, like lately anyway, in his championship run.
No, he's figuring it out too, and like he has a lot of tricks.
So yeah, they announced that. I don't know if, because of whatever the weird discrepancies from the last title fight were, I don't know if this is the title fight. Like, if Cowboy wins, he then wins the title officially against Islam, or what? I don't exactly get how that works. Dana White said something to the effect of, Charles Oliveira is champion, but he's not. So I don't know exactly what
it has entails. The tone, like the tones of like a real interim kind of situation.
But usually, if you're the interim champion, they say so. They say this is the interim belt. You're the interim champion until so and so comes back and we have a unification fight. If they come back, from injury or whatever the fuck happens.
Yeah, in other words, Dana White is really he's really fully immersed in his Vinnie Mac shit. So.
And again, I think he's really hoping that someone like Iron Mike or Dustin or someone like that wins the title.
Because frankly, he doesn't like having foreign people with the belt. You can tell.
Doesn't matter how marketable they are, except for if they're from England, because he loves the UK. He loves them British people.
That's cool. Yeah. That's cool. And much like Vinnie Mac, Dana White has chosen not to utilize this tactic. Well, not even tactic. This this plan, like this simple plan of, if you really feel that way, then brother man, just have a fucking tournament. A tournament at what is that? 155?
Yeah.
A tournament like what? Like a 6-man tournament? No, it'll have to be like what? 8-man.
8-man to like kind of have it fair for the top few dudes,
Yeah.
If you want to really expand that, and just have the top 10 guys fight it out, which would be interesting. If hard to manage, because injuries and setting up the logistics. Like, that's why I respect Bellator and PFL, because they seem to have figured out how to run a tournament and like keep it interesting.
Yeah.
Throughout a year, because it takes about a year to do a tournament.
No, and again, I only bring
depending on how you schedule the fights, like it takes about a year.
I only bring that up because just the way things have unfortunately positioned themselves, this would be the perfect time for a tournament.
I would think so.
In that weight class. You know
and for the UFC in general, I feel like, I don't think struggling is the word, but I feel like they are having, aside from like, fight nerds, they are having trouble putting together compelling storylines. For example, Nate Diaz said this week he wants out finally of his contract. He's probably not going to fight again for them, or at least he doesn't want to. He made jokes about saying, I'll fight John Jones and like Israel Adesanya, and I forget who said the third guy was, but...
When was the last time he fought?
I don't remember.
Exactly.
Because Nick was the last Diaz to fight, right? Like,
I believe so, yes.
I could be wrong. I feel like he's fought recently, but as I've mentioned before, really the only fight that's left for him is that third McGregor fight because people want it, even though it would be cheeks at this point, I feel. But it'll sell anyway because those guys can sell a fight. They just have to run mouth at each other for a month or two. People will buy that shit. People will buy it. People will buy Conor McGregor fighting anybody at this point, which is sad, but they will.
Well, no, people still like they still want him and Nate part 3.
That's what I'm saying. It just makes sense to close the trilogy out, close that storyline.
Which look again, I'm not against, but like that can't be like the main event.
Not
look,
at all.
If it's the co-main event, all right, I'll
it's barely
that.
a super fight. Like it's just a conclusion to a quote unquote rivalry. Even though dudes in the league don't really respect Conor anymore, they're saying he's washed. So I don't know what importance that
is
holds
he?
to Nate. I think he is. I don't even want to say washed. I want to say that he is not. He's in that Ronda Rousey kind of vein in that he won't evolve. You know what I'm saying? This nigga's been fighting for what? A decade now? Some shit? Maybe a little less than that?
I'll say a little bit more.
A little bit more? Not counting injuries and time off and all that?
Yeah.
So, and for a guy who constantly says, I'm still into fighting, I'm going to fight, I'm passionate about this, all and that, why haven't you learned how to wrestle yet still? Why haven't you worked on staying on your feet, basic, at least, if you're not going to wrestle?
It's that gunner's mentality.
But people they're not afraid of you. So
No,
even if you could,
because
again, he's not. I don't think he's washed in the sense of like ability. Is still an elite level striker. Like you don't want to stand toe to toe with this dude.
No, he hasn't presented another dimension.
But exactly, they don't fear. Like more well-rounded fighters don't fear him. Especially if they know, I just got to get you on the ground and just sex you. Cool. And I hate to boil it down to that because it's not that simple, but at the elite level it seems to be, like, especially if you're an elite wrestler, forget it. It's just a matter of time of when you're going to take this down, when you feel like it. That's what Khabib did. He's like, all right, now it's time to take you down because you're trying to mount some offense against me, so I got to neutralize you.
The reality is, who is he beating at either one of the weight classes with which he held a title right now?
I don't know. Cowboy just retired, so I don't know.
Now look, all right, a money fight would be him and
Tony, as we talked about before.
Fair enough. I was about to say
the battle of the washed, the quote unquote washed.
I was going to say him and your man Iron Mike.
That'd be fun.
That's a money fight.
They could sell that fight.
That's a money fight.
Even though, especially Iron Mike coming off kicking Son in the head, and getting that nice win. Like Iron Mike needs like a statement, even though that was a good statement. Like Iron Mike needs like a statement win to prove that he is worthy of the title again.
That's what I'm saying, and because he's not gonna get any one of them titles anytime soon, man.
Nah, not even after that impressive win last time. Actually, I'm not so sure about that. Again, he seems to be another fighter that the UFC are over the moon about. He is that type of fighter that they love, which is white, marketable. like, you know, very American type of dude, hard worker, all that.
He reminds me of Matt Serra.
Yeah, exactly. Except, you know, he's less like trying to be less of a hero. He's just like, I just want to win the belt. Like, I'm just trying to win. I just want to win the belt. Like, Matt Serra, in a lot of ways, you know, at least from my little bit of documentation of him, I'm not saying that he didn't want to win or nothing. He was dominant.
Yeah.
But he seemed to revel in being the face of his division in UFC, like, because there's so many heels like your Tito Ortiz's and whatnot, floating around. Not only they're in the same division, right? Not only floating around the division.
No.
They weren't in the same division, but floating around the league, like the faces of the UFC were like the bad boys, and he was just out here kicking ass and being cool, I guess, you know, like.
I don't know. I mean, with him, it was a different time because that was, what was that, welterweight if I'm not mistaken. So it was Matt Serra, Matt Hughes, young GSP. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it was a weird time, but you know, he definitely, I would say, was the biggest character of that division, definitely.
So I don't know. And just getting back to what fight is there besides, I guess, fighting Tony or someone who was kind of in a similar holding pattern to him, which is like a winnable fight because even though, again, like I said, people will watch Conor McGregor no matter what, especially the Irish, it's going to give you diminishing returns if he keeps getting smoked every time out. Like smoked, not even like he has a competitive fight or something, like worked.
Yeah.
So yeah, his fans will always stand by him, but the rest of the people are gonna be like, why is this guy such a big deal? I've already seen that in the last couple fights where, you know, people who they know about Conor McGregor because he's famous.
Yeah. No, it's the mystique.
Yeah, they're wondering why. Like if he's just getting fucking X'd out in such ways, you know.
Does Conor go to Bellator?
Possibly. I don't know if the tournament structure is built for him. The way he keeps getting injured after every fight.
Listen, you have at least two, maybe three money fights over there. Definitely him and Gegard, but we all know how that's gonna go.
Well, he'd have to go up in weight to fight Gegard, and I don't know.
He was talking about that anyway, though.
You know, him at 185 might be interesting. That might be the solution. But he said he doesn't like to be fat, so I don't know.
And I don't know. I mean, Gegard has been losing it, so he may go down. We'll see.
I don't know. Gegard seems like he's probably gonna try to get that run back, try to get that title back.
Oh no, definitely that.
But that would be an interesting fight, absolutely.
But definitely, if not that, definitely Conor and Douglas Lima.
Yeah, any Brazilian that is still left named Lima still in Bellator.
It really depends. Does he go? Yeah, sure.
I'm saying, should he?
I mean, no. Even though they can pay him. And I say no because the UFC wants to keep Conor. They want to milk that cash cow for as long as they can.
Dana White wants to keep him.
And what Dana says goes, even though
that's fine. But
for the most part, what he says goes.
They don't want to keep him.
He's got the book, so you know. Even though they say the Fertittas are matchmakers or whatever, whoever's doing it now, it's up to really Dana. Usually, you could tell. Like he at least has a heavy influence, obviously.
Yeah, Dana McMahon.
And he loves Conor, and he loves the money that Conor brings, and so. I feel like the UFC will just like they keep, you know, I mentioned Darren Till and guys, like there's certain guys that they know that the crowd likes, but also that they like.
That's right.
And wants to put the rocket on.
But
you know,
but
like,
if Conor gets knocked the fuck out, that them dollars they don't come in the same way.
I agree. So I don't know.
The best storyline for Conor realistically is to go on like the redemption
run, you know, start from the bottom of whatever division he ends up in, whether he decides to stay in 55 or go up, because he definitely can't go down. And
That would be cool. Like, to see him, like, go for a run and then win, like, at 170. He won't, because he can't beat Usman or a lot of the other wrestlers in the division. But let's say, hypothetically, that happened. That's a story. You could sell that pay-per-view. Especially since, you know, it could be, you know, humble Conor being like, you know, I fucking... Because Usman himself said, like, yeah, we respect you for who you are and the things you've done, but no one fears him anymore.
No.
No one ain't afraid of him.
It's false mystique at this point.
So that's compelling. There's some drama there.
No, well, look, if he comes back and wins, just one more fight. It doesn't even have to be at 170. Just one more fight at some weird catch weight.
Then you fight Israel.
Him and Usman can happen. And look,
now you fight him in Israel because it'll be a strike war. That's the best. That's for the money.
Oh, what? You talking about what? Kamaru and Usman?
No, Conor and Usman. If he could make that weight,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. Nah, like, but again, like
that's the fight because Usman's gonna starch this nigga. Like, that's not competitive.
Don't matter. All I'm saying, look,
it'll just be a worse version of Jorge. Him fucking smoking Jorge boots, like.
No, he might really knock Conor the fuck out, but that's neither here nor there.
The point is, Conor doesn't want to get taken down,
like at all, and Conor doesn't like to get hit.
No.
And Usman is gonna bring one or more of those things right to him.
I'm just saying the money and the story is there if Conor comes back and wins whatever his next match.
I agree. Like I just said, like whatever division he lands in, it's a story. Yeah, especially if he makes the run. 170, I agree with you there. That's a good fight because they'll sell it. They'll sell it. Usman is the good guy. Conor's the heel. It's a good money fight. Even if
should be at 170 if you're gonna do that.
Even if Conor gets sexed, like it's a good fight to sell. It makes Dana happy. His guy is selling a pay-per-view. It makes Usman happy because he's on the mission to prove that he's better than GSP. And so beating Conor is like a nice statement win for that. That's really what Kamaru Usman needs.
Some sauce.
That's what Kamaru Usman needs at this point. Like just to take heads. Like if he
some names.
If he decapitates Leon Edwards in a month or so, that's a big win for him because Leon is no joke.
Yeah, but Leon is Leon is Leon, man.
Yeah, do I think Leon will win? I don't think so. But that's a tough fight for Kamaru.
I mean, because Leon's best chance is to knock him out, and that's not going to happen.
Yeah, unless he shows some heretofore unknown wrestling game that he's been working on.
Even if he does, that is not like that. Like, come on, that's not gonna happen with Kamaru. Not with him at this point. So.
Well, what I predict is Leon does what he does, which is he tries to piece you apart with the kickboxing and shit, and try to bait him into takedowns so he can knee him in the face. That's the only strategy I could really foresee for Leon Edwards again, unless he somehow tries to wrestle this man. I don't know. I don't know if he can.
Yeah, that's
who
a real
knows?
Big if.
That's again like the Leon that comes out. You don't know who you're gonna get aside from a very good striker, but like he has this weird cloud like of accidents and stuff like that following him.
Scared of the big moment.
Yeah, it's doable though. He got the puncher's chance, but
I don't see it with him honestly against. Hey, look, if he does, more power to him, but...
Well, then they got their UK fighter that they want, who's awesome, finally.
Yeah.
You got another UK champion, which is nothing but good for them.
And that makes the division hungry because a lot of dudes think they're better than Leon.
Well, once again, it's another vicious shark pool of a division.
Yeah. But in going back to Conor and to kind of seal up your question, yeah, if I'm fantasy booking it, Mans goes up to 185 and fights Israel Adesanya somehow, or like ascends that division to fight Israel, because that's a fight.
That's a high ascension.
Even if Israel hits him with a hurricane kick and that's it, like that's a battle right there.
Yeah.
And they're gonna sell it, man. They're gonna talk all the shit in the world.
And you should.
All the fucking shit in the world.
You really should.
And I'm there for it, even though I'm tired of Conor McGregor personally, but
yeah, he's not even around.
Not very likable, you know. Like much as I love to see him fight because he's such a great striker, like he hasn't. Again, I go back to the fact that he's involved. He hasn't improved.
Yeah, his fights used to be like exciting, but now it's just like, all right, you know what to expect.
How are you gonna get finished this time? You know.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Like, are you just gonna sit there and hope that you kick them in the head? Like, what's going to happen?
Same two-step.
Yeah. I secretly hope he fights Rafael Fiziev, actually. Speaking of a guy who's tearing shit up, shout out to him.
Yes.
How do you say his nickname? Ataman? Or something like that. But props to him coming out of Tiger Showman Karate.
Shout out to them. I was talking to a guard I work with about Tiger Showman because he's young. And I was like, yo, Tiger Showman is like used to be like the joke karate school.
Yeah, like commercial.
Like that commercial was so corny and like people like scoffed at it and thought it was stupid and lame.
And now you got actual UFC champions came out of it, man.
Yeah, getting busy.
Like really like great
Fighters, you know.
From the Bronx.
Excellent fighters. So that's wonderful.
I like that that's worked out for who was it? The Pettises are out of there, right?
Shane Burgos.
Fiziev, Shane Burgos. There's someone I can't think of right now. That's like on the tip of my tongue. That I'm not thinking of, but
some female fighter I can't think of.
Yeah, there's like they got some heat coming out of there. So that's cool. But Fiziev, I saw on Twitter, Conor like talked some shit about a situation he was in the RDA fight, and he was just like, "Oh, you could have like hit this axe kick here or whatever," like some crazy shit that Conor said in the tweet.
And Rafael was like
Conor, my guy, like you got to just come down to Tiger Showman Karate, and like I'll show you why you couldn't possibly hit an axe kick in that situation, like. And like niggas is amping it like, yo, fight this nigga, fight this nigga.
And that won't happen.
I would like to see that. I really would,
because that's a fight that could conceivably happen.
I mean, I would love to see that too, just to see.
I mean, Rafael wants a title shot right now because he's streaking, but.
And again, at this
I'd
point,
like to see
look,
that.
if I'm paying to see Conor, it's to see Conor get knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, or at least, and you know, do you remember when like people thought Shogun was washed up because he like people started to figure him out, beat him up, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then he, you know, turned in those fucking super brawls with Dan Henderson, and people like talked about how great those fights were, and they are. I don't want to say they're not, but like.
But I mean, he finally showed his full arsenal. In regards to like wrestling, you know, Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
And fucking, you know, they went to war, the two of them. Like, it was great.
I still say that was a draw, but whatever.
Yeah. Well, they needed an excuse to do the second one, so they had to give it to somebody.
And that's when they started the the Fox main event joints.
Yeah.
Also the non-title 5-rounders.
Yeah, which thank God for that. One of the best things the UFC has ever done. They should have more of those up and down the card. Because certain cards that'll be like in the mid card deserve 5 rounds.
Yes.
And they just don't get them. Or like a fight night, like they'll have a 3-round main event, like which will be like a really cool main event, like Dominic Cruz versus Cheeto. Is it Cheeto? Marlon Vera, right? They're fighting in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, some shit. That's a fight night.
That should be a 5-round fight. If it's not, like, those are 2 high level. Like, that's a fight.
Yes.
For a main event, that's a headliner fight. Especially since Dominic Cruz has been winning. Like lately, people called him washed up, and look at him. He's back at it, doing what he does. Let him fight Conor McGregor. I guess that's gonna be the title of this one. Like everybody fights Conor at the end of the world.
KO Conor at the end of the world.
KO Conor at the end of the world. Everybody should fight Conor McGregor. But mostly I want him to leave the sport or train up the next Conor McGregor, like the next crop of guys. Like he talks about how he wants
Mayweather.
Yeah, he has this weird aura, like, you know, and that's a good comparison.
It's not even a weird aura. He's just Irish, bro. I don't want to say it like that, but I know enough Irishmen to say it's just like that bravado. You know what I'm saying? But it's like that bravado, that fighter bravado. You know what I'm saying? And he knew how to market that shit, and not only did he know how to market that, he knew how to strategically and tactfully utilize that shit to get in the head of his opponents. The shit worked. Now, look, I'm not taking anything away from his martial arts skills and his training and, you know, his work ethic and so on and so forth. Even though Khabib called him what was that, a scared little man on coke.
Yeah, a scared cokehead or whatever. All I see is a scared cokehead or some shit.
No, look, again, when you, well, up until a certain point, when you heard him, like, talk about his opponents, you could tell, like, he watched, you know, film, he studies shit, he studies the game, the art, you know, so on and so forth, but, you know, he just got a little too into himself, and, you know, Dana White won't take it.
And man, I don't want to defend this man, not to cut you off, but as we've talked about before with many other personalities, divas, you name it, in sports, if everybody's sucking your dick, you know, why wouldn't that happen to you? Especially since, again, to his credit, he went out there and achieved it. He went out
your
there.
Dick, you making probably in regards to any athlete at that time, making more money, and that whatever that was, like what, 3 years, 2 years span, 3 years span.
He's still on the list, kind of by proxy, as one of the richest on the Forbes athlete list or whatever that comes out because of all the money he's made very quickly. And now his businesses and stuff like that, even though the whiskey sucks, apparently. There goes our sponsorship from Proper 12 right there. But
I'll be alright with not having that one.
Yeah, I'm good. I really hear that whiskey is super trash. But, you know, the point is he's a draw. And he's always going to be up until a certain point. So I'd like to see him take that to the maximum and then just walk away. Train the next crop of guys because he has valuable insight to share with this next generation that watched him do what he does and get away with it. Honestly, a lot of people aren't going to be able to pull off the same antics that he pulled off.
No, why not just put him on the commentary roster, son?
That would be great, especially all the shit this guy talks. I don't know how coked up they'll let him be on the mic there.
Well, he won't be working the bigger fights.
Well, that would be hilarious to hear this nigga call some fight night with like Dominic Cruz.
You know what? I may only put him like whenever they have like shows and if and when they have him in Europe. I'm not sure when the last time they had anything in the UK, but
fairly recently. I don't know if this next. If at the Aspinall card, is this a UK card? Because they have him and Paddy and Paul Craig and shit, so it's got to be in the UK.
I'm trying to think, what is... No, I think, oh, no, I was about to say Abu Dhabi, but that's these dudes. That's the shit in October. Actually, no, I think something recent,
Yeah, they were there recently.
Something's coming up in Abu Dhabi. I forgot what it is.
Yeah. Because now they got Fight Island, and you know they could just go there whenever they want.
Yeah, something. I forgot what that is.
I like how this became the UFC episode, or one of them, I guess. Anything else? Oh yeah, what we talked about in the pre-production meeting. Let's switch to ball real quick. It'd be a nice way to tie it off. I was gonna say in a slow news cycle. It's not really a slow news cycle. It's just, I don't know, nothing aside from Kevin Durant, who we're about to talk about. Nothing really.
Yeah, there's nobody else to talk about right now.
Like I'm super looking forward to. I was about to say Cyborg.
Cyborg Kevin Durant.
Cyborg Kevin Durant. Juliana Pena versus Amanda. But aside from that, there's really nothing sports-wise I'm looking forward to because NBA free agency is pretty much over for now.
Yeah, we're at a stalemate.
Yeah, it was just time to wait for the preseason of various sports to kick off.
I guess stand by for that. Actually, no, I can't even say that because if I'm not mistaken, the World Cup is in fucking December this year, is it not?
I don't know.
Yeah, like it's on some weird wintertime shit. Alright, well.
I guess that makes sense, right? Where is it this year?
It's not Qatar.
If it's in the winter, that means it's gotta be in a place that is in summer in the southern hemisphere somewhere.
A place that is in summer. Some place that's always wintertime. Shit is in Alaska. Nah, cause wait, Qatar, that's the Olympics, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
No, wait, cause the Olympics were last year. That was Japan.
That was Japan.
So it might be Qatar. Alright, I'm saying hard hitting,
live on air research for our football fans out there. All five of y'all.
The -5 of y'all. You know what I'm saying? World trigger. Yes. Right.
That's right. Gonna fill the dead air with prefacing.
Yeah, it's Qatar.
It is Qatar, so okay. You
From
got it.
November 21st to December 18th. Wow.
Yeah. God, there's a tournament right there.
So, I mean, I've never actually seen one of those. I've never seen one of those soccer or football games live during like some sort of snow. So that'll be actually interesting to see if it actually is that.
I mean, it's Qatar. It's the desert. Like, there gonna be no snow out there.
Stranger things have happened.
Unless they make a stadium and they have it snow in there. They're rich enough.
But there's also qualifiers too.
Yeah, which may be in other places where where it might snow.
Places.
So,
but I don't know. I think those are happening during the warmer months. So we'll see.
Yeah. So Kevin Durant, and NBA free agency in general. So there's some whales out there on the market that are looking more and more likely they won't be traded, and Kevin Durant is the biggest one because no one wants the contracts of Russell Westbrook or Kyrie Irving. No one wants the headache of Kyrie Irving. Earlier we were talking about rumblings about Westbrook to the Knicks, and I kind of scoffed at it, but now that I really think about it, that's not so bad.
For one season,
depending on what we gave up, that's not so bad.
Exactly. I'm not giving up RJ or Obi. Anybody else? You can have them.
No, we should just send Julius to
back to the
to troll Braun. And then watch him be like the missing piece, and then the Lakers win the title. And then Scrams will be like, I can't even believe that just fucking happened.
Well, listen, I'm trying to persuade the Nets congregation to accept a nice package, including Brother Julius, so we can send him across the river.
He wouldn't be bad on that team.
He wouldn't, but from what I understand,
as it stands anyway, if you could call it a team,
the Nets congregation ain't fucking with that.
I imagine they wouldn't be. They're too busy trying to swindle the league on some dumb shit, and so that's why I bring this up. And in general, like, this situation makes me think of the Carmelo situation a few years ago, obviously, because people were ready to sell the farm for that man, and then the Knicks did sell the farm for that man. You know, to mixed results, some good, some bad,
right.
But I feel like the Nets are thinking about trades like that, and the Kevin Garnett, Paul Pierce trade they made disastrously a few years ago, that they still feel the effects of.
They helped build this, whatever this new Boston regime is.
At this point, it just seems like a bunch of puzzle pieces in a bag that some Russians threw money at. And
they've been that since
Prokhorov had the team or owned the team.
Well, even before that, but yeah.
But they had promise, and then every time, similar to the Knicks, they had a real compelling squad. They break it up for nothing, essentially. For super teams that didn't work. There was no way those three guys were going to work together on a team. That being the Beard, Kyrie, and Durant. You got Kyrie.
They weren't working. It's just, you know.
Kyrie playing half the games. Like, there's no cohesion.
Half is very generous. Well, you know what? No. Theoretically, Kyrie Irving has played more games than Kevin Durant.
Yeah, with injury.
Not even theoretically, he has.
Which is hilarious. But again, like, it's such a...
It's a weird Twilight Zone twist.
And a weird foundation to build your team on. And I understand, like, these are two top 10, top 20 players. Again, Kyrie is more of a top 20 player in my opinion. Because I feel like there's 9 players better than him.
Top 25.
That's for sure. As great as he is, as great a scoring as he is, great as a guard as he is, like, there's
I don't need them headaches, man.
There's a lot for the risk and reward, the feast and famine you get from him. Like,
bro, he hit one shot 6 years ago.
And been coasting on that ever since. But
no, that's cool. Yeah, that's fine, fam. But what have you done since then? Realistically,
score a lot, mostly.
Even then,
he
hasn't even done that like
disappear
that.
When your team needs you, which is some shit.
And flip-flopped.
You know.
Flim-flammer.
And then got mad when you pointed it out. That's some diva shit to me.
Puppets.
I don't care how good you are.
Puppets.
And yeah, I respect your, bullshit, anti-vax, do your research, whatever, fine. It's dumb, but fine. You believe in the flat earth, whatever.
You coerced your mans in order to basically, like, ride in this boat with you to whatever desolate island. I won't say the Nets are a desolate island, but this unknown
but practically,
island.
like, the team is in shambles right now. They basically tried to, like, puzzle piece a team together to make a postseason run and got murdered.
They're not worse than they were after the Celtics debacle.
No, but pretty bad.
You know what? Look, in some ways they are.
You went from a team, as we've discussed many a time on this show, of Karras, Spencer Dinwiddie, Jared Allen, etc., to a team that is veterans that are hurt most of the time and can't play quality minutes, veterans that are washed up even though they have value but can't play extended minutes because they can't deal with the young talent in the league now, starters who are hurt 75% of the time. Your best player, arguably, and Kyrie is there half the games, so there's no cohesion, no nothing, and that's your lead guard. And then the Beard is just kind of like fat and unmotivated because he's looking at the ridiculousness that he just walked into.
I mean, no, that was just all the hamstring.
I know he was hurt, and he said he tweeted this week. See, here's me with the scoops, paying attention on the internet right here. He tweeted this week saying, you guys are saying I'm washed and this and this and that, but I was averaging almost a triple-double last season. Like, if you had any other guy in the top 50 players, let's say, you'd be fucking sucking this man's dick. And I paraphrase that. He didn't say that, sucking this man's dick part. But basically, like, you would be fucking...
listen, that's all cool, bro.
You would be killing yourselves over this man. Like,
fuck all that shit,
and I don't want to
bro.
offer any excuses for him. I'm just saying that there's something
Not
to
even
be said
excuses,
for
bro.
that.
Just come out and just get your second MVP. How about that?
And he's on a squad where he can do that potentially. So I don't want to hear any excuses this season because you're on a team that's actually good now. And you are capable of making it better. You are a player that can put them over the hump.
That team can be great around
they
you.
They literally needed you. A player like you, a player that scores like you, a player who playmakes like you, a player who gets to the line like you. Like, after...
Or just a supreme gunner.
But he's much more than that.
Just saying, like,
But he can do that. He can fill that role.
Like, Bradley Beal would have worked with them.
Yeah, but...
Of course, Dame Lillard.
Yeah, but those guys are wilding right now.
Your man Malcolm Brogdon, various other individuals.
Who they could have taken a chance on, considering these guys got Malcolm Brogdon for a sandwich. So
yeah, they could have got it for a Philly cheesesteak, but whatever.
I'm saying. Either way, I believe in the beard, man. I've always believed in the beard, despite chilling with niggas in the club and all these things that they like to roast him over and being fat and whatever. I don't care. Like he's still an elite level basketball player. Like he is a top 10 player, top 5 player potentially when he's on it. And a lot of people are saying,
he's a top 75 player.
A lot of people keep comparing him to Houston Harden, and that is an unfair comparison.
Nah, he won't have. Well, can't even say he's not that. It's just
he's not. He's on teams that are not going to produce that. Also, as I've been saying for years and years and years, the best version of James Harden is the temple guard, dictate the pace of the game James Harden.
Yeah.
That's where he is most deadly because you have to guard him. And then he can just pick you apart from there. That said, like, I'm rooting for him, man. Like, that Nets trade was fucking dumb. Like, and I said that. I stand by that. The Bandit could tell you that I was whining hard about, like, all this wildness. These 2K moves, as I've referenced in other episodes, do not make sense to me.
It was dumb because you didn't have the right coach for that.
And a first-time coach at that, essentially, like a rookie coach to try to handle the 3 biggest egos in the league. Three of the biggest egos in the league, because Bron is not there.
The 3 biggest egos that don't influence anybody
and aren't leaders.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
James Harden is capable of that, I feel. But
James
the other
Harden,
2 are.
All 3 of them is the most capable of really carrying a team.
But the other 2 are not. That's not what they do, and I get that.
Because he's not as emotional or Well, again, to his credit, his distractions don't affect what he does on the court, son.
No, more or less.
Like
no.
outside of like the physical shit.
Exactly. And those other 2, emotional is the perfect word. And I resonate with KD. Like I get why he would get so mad. You are an elite, all-time great basketball player. You will be a Hall of Famer. All this and that, and niggas just keep shitting on you because you went to the Warriors. And I know it's not just that, but that's a main part of it. And I get why he's salty. Niggas should be blowing him. Not too much, because again, the game is about what have you done for me lately, and largely what he's done is just be hurt at home, and I don't want to blame him for that because he's getting older. That's what's gonna happen, especially given his frame. But I get why he's upset. He's one of the best players in the world. He doesn't get his due for it, except from his fans.
No, he does. His problem is
it's not the way he wants. It's not. It's not
he gets
the
in his own way, bro,
and he gets mad, and that's not. Again, that salt is gonna repel people.
But at the same time, look, he's one of those. He's trying to play both sides of the fence. All right, you wanna be known as this leader, this franchise-changing player. But every time you get the chance to do that shit, somehow it's somebody else's fault. Now, again, to his credit, looking at, he's played with, well, one of them is a legitimate Hall of Famer. One, he probably will get in the Hall of Fame just because of his triple doubles. And the other one, I don't even know if Kyrie will even be on the fucking ballot, son.
He will.
He won't.
The way they slurp this nigga, I feel like they will.
He won't.
Especially since you've already established the precedent of, like, I don't want to say lesser players because Ben Wallace is a fantastic player, but in terms of name value and the name recognition, they're allowing, like, the bar used to be super high.
All right, but Ben Wallace, I mean, and
he deserves it. Let me say that. Like,
no, Ben Wallace has a much more conservative name in regards to the voters,
especially these young bucks right now because they weren't around for that. They weren't around for him. They didn't see him play. They don't unless they're going back and
Right,
watching.
but they don't have anything to do with the Hall of Fame, though.
You know.
They don't have anything to do with the Hall of Fame.
True, but I feel like the influence is there, like especially.
It is, but that not with the Hall of Fame.
And to your point, like hitting that shot like resonated clearly with the basketball universe. So
it did.
I feel like even just that is enough to get him in.
No, it's not.
So
because
we'll
again, he gets in his own way. So
really, even though T-Mac is in there, again, T-Mac deserves it, but he didn't win.
No,
He
you're
didn't
still
win
looking at it in the sports fucking prism. No, he's trying to be too political, and you know what it is. When you're too political, they don't fuck with you.
That's true.
And like his resume ain't good enough for him to for it to surpass that.
Also true.
That, like I said, that one shot. So no, he may be on a ballot, but he won't be like.
He's not first ballot to you.
No.
He's not an auto include to you.
His name may come up, but it's one of those.
Maybe. Maybe.
Let us know in the comment, guys. Let some audience participation. Do you put Kyrie Irving in the Hall of Fame or the 75 greatest players of all time? Whatever metric you want to use, because I know y'all Kyrie folk are all over it. Anyway, I don't want to get into the misery that is the net maneuvers. The reason why I really bring up KD is because news this week of DeAndre Ayton getting the offer sheet
from the Pacers for over 100 mil. I think it's 113 million.
133.
Jesus, I know there's threes in there.
It's like 133 for like what, 3 years?
Yeah, kind of ruined the plans for a potential KD move because one of the teams that KD said that he wants to go to
the main team
is Phoenix. And as many analyses have poured over, that Heat deal is definitely not going to happen unless it's a 3 to 4 team deal. The Phoenix deal could have happened, except that now Phoenix has matched the offer sheet that Indiana had put forth. Sadly, that would have been nice. See DeAndre Ayton get busy over there with Tyrese Halliburton and them. Then they should have traded some bonus. Whatever. That's fantasy booking. Anyway, KD's not gonna get moved. It looks like unless you can foresee a scenario in which the Nets take less to just finally get that man out of there. So I guess the final question in the episode is, what do you do?
I mean, well, listen.
Within, I guess, because you can't wave a magic wand, there's a lot of limits here. But what do you do? Like, how do you make some kind of deal happen, or do you deal with a potentially disgruntled and injury-prone KD for next season as you try to rebuild your team?
Well, at this point, right now, the team that they have isn't like, it's not, a crickety old fucking.
They're not fucks. It's just they have glaring holes, and they already had glaring holes. So
it's not even so much the glaring holes. It's just the chemistry is off, and your two
and
best.
Also, they don't trust Steve Nash. That is also
the two best players don't trust each other,
which is bad because they're supposedly friends, I guess.
Well, clearly, that ain't the case.
Well, losing will make a friendship hard, won't it?
Well, listen. For whatever reason, well, not even for whatever reason, but definitely just because they just won the chip, and this definitely will be another light-skinned summer. I don't know, son. I feel like the Warriors may swindle something.
That's an interesting wrinkle. People have brought this up. I thought it would be hilarious if he did that and just returned to the Warriors.
Look, the likelihood of him doing that shit the first time was way less likely than it is now.
Yeah, especially since the Warriors have the pieces to do the deal. I don't know if it's exactly wise, because the deal certainly would involve Jordan Poole and
well, at least not so much Poole. They could probably get away with like Wiseman and Wiggins.
and Wiggins and or Kevon Looney.
No, because they just read up on Looney. They're not getting rid of him.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, to make the salaries match, they may have to make that sacrifice, which is, again, why I bring up the Phoenix thing, because that deal was probably, I don't want to say probably going to happen, but
it seemed like it was. But
as we talked about throughout the week, it was just basically a Mikal Bridges, right? It's Mikal who's on the Suns.
Yeah.
Mikal Bridges, we always mix those. I always mix those.
deal basically from making that happen between two teams, which is sweet. You know, the Nets get basically 3 quality players, a few picks, which is nice. Kevin Durant gets to play on a contender, which is nice. That still can contend. And the Suns don't really lose that much. They can fill the gaps that they can with the players they still have left. Except that DeAndre thing would be a little hard to replace, but you got KD now, so you could just kind of go smaller and attack more.
You can find a replacement.
There's ways to make it work, and I'm surprised that Phoenix just kind of fucked that up, because all they really had to do was just pay DeAndre at the beginning of the season, and they could still have made this deal with sign and trade. And now that's very unlikely to happen. So,
Phoenix has a history of not dealing with.
We've talked about how Robert Sarver's a dick. If this was a video, we would bring up that old lady, Phoenix, that lifelong Phoenix Suns fan, talking about how cheap and what a piece of shit he is. Which is a classic clip. Go look that up. You know, I forget what her name is, but just look up, you know, old Phoenix Suns grandma, you know, shitting on Robert Sarver. So that said, you know, we'll see what shakes out as we go into preseason. But that's my personal prediction. I don't think the deal gets made unless it's a 3 or 4 team deal with someone in the West. And I don't see teams that are like a Denver or people like that who are kind of have good teams right now with chemistry breaking that up for KD.
No real contenders.
Especially since, again, not that KD doesn't have value, because he does. But
just incredible bad timing.
It's bad timing. He's still hurt. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he still kind of need more rehabbing. So
I mean, he ultimately just blamed Kyrie.
Why not? Fuck it. If they had made that Kyrie deal, we might be talking about something else right now. But it's not going to happen, clearly. So
no.
We'll see what we'll see. We've come to the end of the ride, folks. This is a nice crisp one. Just a little over an hour.
Very nice. Very, very fresh. Toasty even.
Nice appetizer.
Yes, I would say so. I don't know where they can find you, Bandit, as usual.
You know what I'm saying? It will always be the Bandit_Light7 on the gram. You usually see me posting some sort of something in regards to recording or, you know, anything relating to what we do or whatever fat assery I may be posting. But, you know, until the next one, I know what it is.
And the most liquid of snakes. Well, you'll find me at Twitter at the corner of Brian Windhorst memes.
Yes.
I don't know.
Legends of Winning.
Fucking
clips.
Bailey rumors. Bailey returning at SummerSlam rumors.
Or
I guess.
You catch him at Chicago Comic-Con.
Or doing cartwheels in a
or
Deadpool
backflips
costume.
in front of Mercedes.
Exactly. For probably, them tickets gonna be like probably $500.
No. I think it's 70 to show up, and they're like 90 for like the photo op.
Okay, I got it. That's not bad.
Not at all.
That's not bad. I might pay that for a picture of Mercedes. Smiling, looking all fine.
I might do that.
Yes.
But yeah, you can get at me at @ShiningBrizard on Twitter. You know, I will post updates about all these episodes that have come out in a very rapid fire succession. That's what we're doing in the season of the.
What was it? The Wolf and the Snake?
I believe so. Yes.
I'm going with that. The Wolf and the Snake. It's very Metal Gear, and we're very Metal Gear.
We're hitting the crossroads.
I
believe we hit the season of the snake sometime in August.
Yeah, it's coming. Our official birthday is coming. So these next 4 are gonna be pretty crazy. I know we've been saying this for a while. We try to get a guest for it because I feel like an anniversary, you know, dictates that. Like we need something, you know.
Well, I mean, the way things are going,
some spice, you know.
There'll be other voices. That's not even a prophecy. It's a guarantee.
Cool. There you go. Lightskin guarantee.
a new term coined at the end of the world.
You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for listening. If you made it this far, guys, gals, non-binary pals, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Do all that YouTube shit. We appreciate you.
Shout out to all the creatures of the night.
Exactly. See you in 2 weeks.